What's up, folks? Hey, Smoochie, Ralph, Vixen. What's up? How's everybody doing? I hope I'm live, and it looks like I am. Cool breeze. We're just gonna chill, enjoy the night. I'm not gonna talk about anything special. I learned last Friday that it just kind of was kind of smooth, and then when I get home, we'll do a Saturday show stream, and I'll just ramble then on a topic. I got a couple ideas. I got a couple. I keep losing my camera. What is going on? 1 second, folks. I don't know what's going on here. Ah, something happened. No. Hold on. I'm going to have to go out and come back in. I'll be right back, folks. I am so sorry about this. This blows. Let me try this. Okay, am I live, folks? Am I here? Somebody let me know I'm here. Ah, I'm having all kinds of technical problems. Weather's crazy. Yeah, Mercury retrograde. Am I here? Am I on? Somebody let me know I'm broadcasting. Let me check my YouTube. Okay, I am on. Heck yes. Sorry about that, folks. That was messed up. Well, it's time for a new camera. I think I moved it around too much. So this is what the cave looks like. Huh? One of the many chambers. So how's all? Hey, and Mike, welcome in. It's good to see everybody. Yeah, I just kind of had a rough start there. I guess it's because I missed Gemma. It's weird doing this without her. I gotta admit it. This is how everybody doing. It's raining here. It sucks. It's been raining all night. Or maybe that's the problem. Between Mercury retrograde and crappy weather. But it's good to see people coming in. I wasn't going to touch on much tonight, like I said before I so amply disappeared on you guys. Sorry about that. It was kind of unprofessional. Oh well. We're going to say Fridays for just talking. I mean, a real chill and chat. We'll just kind of vibe out and enjoy an hour or so. Run the gambit, and then when I get home, Saturdays at midnight, I have some ideas. There's I got an approval to talk about some videos that I like that actually has some of my information in it, some of the research I've done. So I may play those videos and we can discuss them as we watch them because that is considered fair use, and they all agreed to it. So it was all cool with them. Which makes me happy because I've been wanting to talk about a particular one gentleman that does videos. He does Telegram, and a lot of his stuff that he pulls, and then a lot of things that he pulls from Telegram are from people I do research for. So it'll be kind of cool to watch some of those videos and see nitpicks, little nuggets of the research I've done over the years. I'm going to set my phone down before I do something bad. Don't do something bad. But yeah, I think we're going to do that. It'll be kind of cool. A lot of it will be about giants and what I like to call forbidden ancient history or lost history. And a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I want to kind of keep it simple because everybody does, there's so many channels on UFOs and Bigfoot. I don't want to take away from that, but I also want to be a part of that. So that's why I think I'll do Fridays is just chilling, talk whatever you want. Like last week, got talking about movies. So, and there's a movie I want everybody to check out if you haven't checked it out yet. I think it's still on HBO. It's called Antlers, and it's about Wendigos. Oh man, such a great movie. I was really pleased with it. Just the right kind of creep factor. Slowly falling asleep. Well, Mike, you're a busy guy. Just be careful. That's all I ask. Yeah, it's late. Some people, last week, I think we stopped a little after 2. I probably could have gone a lot longer because I ended up pacing around for another hour or two. And maybe got a hour of sleep. So, what's up, folks? What's the plan, Stan? Wednesday show was really good. And Thursday, you get those 2 women going, man, you can go all night. And like she said, you got Mondays. She got a video coming Monday. I forgot what it was. She'll kill me. And then every other Monday will be me and her after that at noon. And then, of course, for Wednesday nights, we'll have Gemma's intuitive oracle reading at 7:15. And then, don't mind me, I'm here and I will be till the end, but I'm going to forewarn that I am dead tired and your voice is absolutely putting me to sleep. So keep talking. You're doing wonderful. I'm surprised I talk as well as I do half the time, Ralph. I really do. Because there are days that I literally cannot talk. That sounds nighty good. Good. But Antlers was a really good movie, man. It was creepy, man. I liked it a lot. I highly recommend it. Especially if you're into, the Wendigo and Skinwalkers. But that was probably one of the more accurate kind of storytellings that I've seen. I was really impressed. Some of the special effects in it were okay. I don't do ratings, so don't ask me to rate it. I'm one of those guys. I like a good popcorn movie. It doesn't have to have. I like a lot of details and a good storytelling, but I also like to sit in a movie and just be brain dead for an hour or two. ASMR videos telling stories called Dragon Tales. I wonder how good it would do. But see, that's the thing. I could last about as long as my voice does. Now, last Tuesday, last Friday, I'm just kind of glad that we ended it too because I was starting to have some issues talking. But yeah, back to what I was saying. And then we have Thursday nights with Laura, and then every other Thursday night with Gemma, Laura, and me. I don't know why I'm there half the time. The women are talking. I guess I'm just there to be the moderator. I have no idea. But I love being there, so I don't mind. And then Friday nights with me. And then hopefully Saturdays when I get home, which should be by the end of the month, we're hoping. And that's going to be fun to move in before we move in. I'm trying to reach out. So if you give the silence. Yep, shoot him a text sometime. I'm telling you, you would do phenomenal. Seriously, anyone knows. Yeah, they do a pretty good job. I can talk when I'm nice and slow and soft when I want to. Yes, Gemma, I could also be pretty loud. It's from talking to a 90-year-old man who acts like he's not deaf, but he really is. Wow. Coyote, huh? It kind of freaked me out when Gemma put the video of the bear cubs climbing around on her front porch, but she's in that area. Yeah, and we don't have no bears. I've seen coyotes here in Ohio, quite a few actually. A lot of foxes. I actually saw my first dead fox, which made me sad on a road coming in one day. Was bummed because you don't see too many foxes even in the suburban area. They stay along the river and up around the parks. You very rarely see them in the neighborhood. Which movies hit close to home to you, Vixen? Did I miss that? Yeah, I like good storytelling. I like a good thriller. Which one you like? The one I was saying talking about antlers. Yeah, they do that, and I hate that because there's some old forests here in Ohio too, and it bums me out to see them slowly going away. It's sad. Have you ever seen the movie Critters, Edna? You don't want those critters coming out. I love that movie too. It's such a good popcorn movie. I'm watching chat. Got kind of slow. Talk to me, people. That's what we're here to do. Have some fun. Ramble. I'm not as good as a rambler as good old Gemma is, but I try. Yes, Mike. What is Mike? You got to perk up, bud. Stop it. Be good. You got it in your man. Did you listen to Gemma's reading for you again? You're a good guy, man. Just hang in there. We're here if you need you. Oh, you live in a regular neighborhood? Hey, Smoochie, do you do Facebook? I found a picture of this mushroom house. It literally looked like mushrooms and it was a house. It was huge. I know I'm doing great. You better be doing good too, bud. We're here. You just have to yell, man. I may I see your texts. A lot of times I'm running around, but I get to you, don't I? As soon as I can, I try. I don't like lingling, but when I need to get somebody, I will get there. Actually, they're not doing too bad here. I've noticed a little bit more people are kind of protecting stuff around here now. No Facebook. Well, I'll see if I can find that picture and maybe I'll post it on here one day so you can see it. It's pretty cool. You'd like it. It's definitely this big mushroom house. It's tough. Now I got to go find it, but I will. I'll find it. I think I have it in mind. I'll put it on here one night. I know you do. Now, see, my dad grew up in Chillicothe. It's right up against the Tecumseh Mountains range. All those little, I don't call them mountains because they look like just really big hills, but it's beautiful up there. And every couple weekends in the summer, we'd go spend the night Saturday and Sundays. And Saturday they'd go up and go mushroom hunting for stews and stuff. Um, he raised rabbits, so on Sundays they would have rabbit for dinner. Yeah, he did. Is it running good now, Aunt? Oh, did you? Ah. So that happened after you fixed it? That blows. Oh, I would be too. Hey, that's vehicles. My dad's a mechanic. He'll tell you it ain't nothing new. You fix one thing, something else goes wrong. Yeah, skinwalkers and wendigos. Those are some of my favorite cryptids. See, I have a big thing about skinwalkers because I have this fascination with Skinwalker Ranch, all of them, because there's more than one. But the main Skinwalker Ranch, I've always had a fascination about. I've had dreams about that place. I've had, dreams of it calling to me. It's weird, especially if I watch something about it. It's like that night. It's like I'm there. Yes, that does blow you, and that really does. And that's not going to be a cheap fix either, unless it's just a gasket. Yeah, well, sometimes it's hard to tell my difference between a skinwalker and like a werewolf or dog man, even a Wendigo. Yeah, well, you get it fixed and you trade it in. Try to get some of your money cooped back out of it. How old is it? What year is it? And what year Jeep? I'm just curious. But yeah, I love movies like The Skinwalkers, Wendigo. I love werewolves. That was my thing. I think it's funny. Gemma likes vampires, and I like werewolves. Um, One of my favorite werewolf movies. There's actually two of them: Dog Soldiers, and of course, Howling. I saw the Howling at the theater when it opened, and I was just amazed. I was like, "This is awesome." Now the other ones suck. I don't know why they tried to make sequels. Sometimes. Oh, good luck, Mike. That sucks. It's a 2006. It looks brand new. No mileage. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, but you're gonna have that's a Jeep. That's like everybody brags about Cadillacs. Everybody I've known that owned a Cadillac had problems with it. But if you keep it in good shape and get that fixed, it will probably last you a while. Do you put a lot of mileage? Oh, you said low mileage, so that's good. But yeah, I like those type of movies. Howling is a great movie. Was great. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen Dog Soldiers, I would watch Dog Soldiers. That movie is excellent too. I'm sure you love your Jeep. And my dad used to be a Ford guy until we kept telling him he found on road dead or forever rusting. But most of his cars were Fords up until he got rid of his little box car. What was that called? What was that? A Fairmont. He had a Fairmont. And after that sucker, he bought a Toyota van. I love your Jeep, Annie. It sounds like a song. I love your Jeep, Annie. Auntie, I should say. Yeah, The Howling's a great movie. But there's so many good vampire movies. I just got upset when they kind of romanced vampires, like 30 Days of Night. That movie just, that movie just, I love that movie. The graphic novels are so good. Yeah, Dog Soldiers is a good flick. Um, there's another one too, and I can't remember. Not calling a Wolfman, but there was another one that's really good too. Yeah, everybody loves the vamps. Now I know she loves Twilight. I'm okay with it. It kind of go. To me, vampires should be scary. I do want to see the new Nicolas Cage Renfield. That looks awesome. And I want to, and see, I'm a big fan of the Evil Dead movies too. I actually got to see the musical at a outside amphitheater. Oh, it was so great. They had blood spraying everywhere. Yeah, everybody brought plastic bags or wore white shirts so they can stain the shirts all bloody. It was cool. It was pretty good. Oh yeah, you did, huh? You're killing me, Smoochie. But I'm and I love the werewolf movies and vampire movies. But like I said, I'm a kaiju guy. The bigger the monster, the happier I am. I love the old B movies. We got a call back. Uh, if you can go back to 26. You know, though, I want you to stop and think about living forever. Because that means you're starting over every time with everything. Every time the things change, you got to change. Which it might be okay for some people. Personally, I don't think I could live forever. You know, when I'm done, I'm done. That's as simple as that. In New Orleans. That's right. You're in New Orleans, aren't you, Smoochie? I kept thinking you were out west for some reason. Now, who's all out west? Now, and aren't you out west too? I know Mike's in what, Indiana or in Indianapolis? I don't know where you're at, Vixen. I got 14 people watching. Well, come on, people. You 14 people. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment if you like it. And if you don't, I'm good with it either way. But be respectful. That's all I ask. I agree, Ghost Dragon. So many friends already couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't think about that. Now, how many people have seen the movie Highlander? You know, he even says it himself. Hey, Nightmare's lurking around. How you doing, dude? Girl, whatever. You know, Nightmare, are you a boy or girl? Should I ask? I never really thought about it. Okay, okay. I actually have a cousin down there somewhere. Lives in one of the parishes. Okay, I thought you were, but I wasn't sure. You can't tell anymore. You know, I don't like asking. Every so often I have to out of my own. Yeah, Northern Illinois. That's what I thought. Mike. And there's Vixen saying hello. Miss Junior Bacon. Lotus must have finally got rid of her earache long enough to sleep. Bless her heart. Lotus had an earache. Oh, okay. Okay. So I've never been down there, but I do have a relative. She got married here. In fact, she's one of my cousins that lived in Japan that I went to visit. Her other cousin works for Honda, Susan. Oh, you're on the East Coast. Okay. Oh, you are on the East Coast? I thought you, for some reason, and you were on the West Coast. Mountains and sea. Yeah, everybody lurking. I'm waiting for Mike J to pop in. Behold. But I'm glad you guys show up. I mean, like I said, we're just gonna make Fridays hangout. I'll ramble and whatever I see in chat we'll talk about. As you can see, I drift from one subject to another very easy. Saint Tamary Parish. Okay. Yeah, I know she lived in one of the parishes. I just don't know where. I do know it was one of the parishes that got flooded out during the big one, the last big. So I'm hoping she's okay. We've never heard from her, so I don't even know if she was still living there. I lost contact with her and her sister a while back ago. I haven't been out on the west, but all been down the East Coast. Okay, yeah, because I'm from Ohio. I'm in Maine. Oh, okay. Now, bumping the Stephen a lot, I take it. Maine. I always did like to go to Maine. Maine is beautiful. Yeah, it is. From the pictures I've seen. But see, there isn't a state. It's amazing. You love your state, and you go to another state, and you're going, oh, this ain't much different than my state. Maybe some more hills, maybe a few mountains. I thought that until I went to Colorado and Jersey. But the only thing different about Jersey was their roads and the way they cut through town and stuff. Jersey's crazy. People come to Ohio and they're like, they wonder why they call it a cow town. There ain't nothing to it. Mm-hmm. Katrina, yeah. Yeah, it was Katrina. I just couldn't remember which one. Yeah, it's good to love your state. Growing up, I made it a point to go all over Ohio. And like I said, the only other places I've been is Jersey. Been in New York City, but I was only there one night, and that was to see Pink Floyd. Been to Florida. Been to Kentucky and Tennessee. Um, Kansas and Colorado. That's it. And Japan. Yeah, I bet they have. And you know, my brother, my oldest brother, who just moved to Tennessee, he lives down along the border somewhere, about around the Tennessee Georgia border, just I guess west of the Appalachians, the end of the Appalachian, however that works. But he almost moved to Arizona. I kind of wish he did, so I go out there and see him, because I hear Arizona is very different. I take it you've been out there. Is it, is it as nice? I watched Mr. MBB 333, and well, I'm glad you smell like cheese, John Woodmass. um, and he lives out there, and he shows a lot of his area. Now, it looks beautiful, and I wouldn't mind checking out the desert. Well, welcome, John Woodmass, and I'm glad you smell like cheese. Are you from Wisconsin? You probably. Hello, all. Been doing a reading rehearsal tonight. Oh, fun. That's always a good time, though. Yeah, that's what I heard too, Aunt Smoochie. They tell you, if I move anywhere, I'm heading for the Northern Territories. I can handle the cold. I had a close call with a skinwalker in the 70s. She was grooming me for part of the ritual. Ooh. See, this is why I wanted to have you on, Vixen. You saying stuff like that. Now, see, that perks my interest to an unbelievable amount. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, those hurricanes do that. And I've seen tornadoes do damage. I've seen my share of tornadoes. Actually, from 78 to 79, those 2 summers, I chased tornadoes with a group because I'm into weather too. And I really got to see the devastation. And then I lived in Cincinnati around Harrison, and they had a tornado down there. And I was working for Bonanza at the time. It blew out all our windows, but the house that the homes that are across the street, the housing development across the street, it looked like it played hopscotch. I actually saw a telephone pole. It was literally, it looked like an old Trans Am, but the telephone pole was literally went through the engine block. I was like freaked out. Everybody was taking pictures. I got me so excited I couldn't type Vixen Dev. That's funny. Yeah, that's a conversation I would like to have with you. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, he lives down there somewhere. I Dad wrote down his address, so I'm gonna Google it and check it out. But from what I've seen of his pictures, it's beautiful. And that's one thing I've never seen either, and I've seen some crazy stuff and some weird cryptid stuff, but I've never seen a squid unless I've seen a skinwalker and didn't know it. Now I'm pretty sure I saw a werewolf down in Logan, and I'm pretty sure it was a female too. Yeah, tornadoes are not fun. No, they're not. I've been in one. It's not fun. It is a scary situation, especially when you have kids and you're living in an apartment on the top floor. But we got lucky. It just went a little west of us. But even then, you could see the damage. You could see the trail. You could see where it came over the hill and literally left a V path right down the hill. It was wild. I mean, I'd seen what it did to flatlands, but when you see it in a rural setting, that's a whole different ball game. But even out west, seeing it and seeing the ones I saw in Kansas and stuff, it's just right there. All of a sudden, they're there and they're gone. but what they leave behind is insane. And you feel for those people. Yeah, that's right. That's why you don't answer. I never do. Now, I've had that happen too. Actually, it was weird. Me and the ex went camping up north, and she kept saying she was hearing somebody call her name, and I said, "Don't answer it." She goes, "What?" And I go, "You just don't answer it. Don't even acknowledge it." But you could tell it was freaking her out. And then I finally heard it toward the end of the night, and it did. It sounded like somebody saying her name. It was like, "Holy crap!" Or follow strange lights. Now that I follow strange lights. I'm not scared. It's just there's some things, yeah, you just don't do. Strange lights, I'd probably follow. I hate to say it, but I would probably follow them. And curiosity always gets the best of me. That's what I was told as a child. Yeah, and I was told the same thing. My grandparents on my mom's side were, um, my grandmother on more on my mom's side was super superstitious. Always had stories. My grandpa Griffey told me some great stories about the hill folk. I'm pretty sure he was talking about little people. Don't they try to lead you? Yeah, most of the time they do. Cat. Whatever cat means. I'm trying to read everybody talking. It's funny. Dead cat. Oh, what? I look like a dead cat. I'm too scared to be a dead cat. But yeah, so anybody have any good things they want to talk about? Now, talking about skinwalkers and wendigos, actually, that's a darn good topic. Um, we ran. I used to hang with these three guys that we used to travel with around the state. There was a couple of us. We'd take turns, or one would do it. But anyways, we went this one time, and I believe it's in Western Ohio, down just west of Fairfield. There's a little area, and these guys were telling us at McDonald's, we were, hey, anybody got any good stories? Any good creepy stories? And these two old guys were talking about how they grew up in the West around the Indian reservations, and they swore that their neighbor was a skinwalker, and that's why they moved to Ohio. And it was pretty funny, but they sounded pretty convincing. The one old man, he didn't like talking about it at all. Oh, curiosity killed the cat. Well, cat has 9 lives, so might as well use them up while you got them. It's like playing video games. And dead air, we don't want dead air. No dead air. But yeah, that they had their story was pretty good. I guess they had a beef with the neighbor. The two guys had a beef. Um, both family men, and what they did was their families together ran a ranch, and they were pretty close. But this one neighbor they didn't like him at all. They said he was always kind of on a high creep factor of 20, and they would see him doing weird things, always having bonfires at the end of the night. Well, I guess about a year before they left, um, cattle was starting to miss, and then they were finding them all ripped up. It looked like something was eating them. Whatever it was big. And then the other old man told me that he was out one night and he saw his neighbor, but the neighbor kind of disappeared, and all of a sudden this big huge wolf come out of nowhere and ran the other direction, howling and growling. And they said they left after that. They said that was pretty much it. They packed up their families and came to Ohio. I guess the one guy had family here, so they live up north, out west, down south there, west of Fairfield. Yeah, shapeshifter. I don't know. The way they didn't give me much details. It was pretty short. We talked for about an hour or so before they got up and left. The other man started getting uneasy. He didn't like talking about it at all. You're on your eighth life, and yeah, I'm probably about that too. Granny told me not to look for little people, but I did. That's an interesting story because one of my relatives, one of my cousins down in Chillicothe, was saying that their mom, I think it was Shirley, anyways, kept telling her not to follow little people, and they had gone mushroom hunting up in the hills, and I guess she went missing for like 4 or 5 hours, and they found her, and she was just sitting on a log. And she said, "I don't remember much, but I knew I was happy because everybody said all I was doing was giggling and laughing." And I take it that's what she did. She followed him somewhere, just like Gemma. And yeah, coyotes are interesting. Yeah, they're hurting for food. If you see them, you always know when animals start moving into the city, the food sources hurt. Now, see, Gemma really hooked me up with the face stuff because, like I said, when I first started seeing stuff was in kindergarten, and I was seeing these little shadows following people. And after talking to her and listening to her talk over the years, I'm like, okay, this is starting to make sense because I never pieced it together, even after the stories I heard. Because these seeing these little people, but I was just seeing little shadows. We were near a creek. Yeah. See, our big thing is deer. There are white-tailed deer everywhere in our neighborhood. I live I'm 3 houses away from the cemetery. Not like right next to the cemetery, but it's right there. I mean, I get up in the morning and when I open my window, it's the first thing I see is the cemetery. Anyways, well, actually, neighbor's house, then the cemetery. Um, and then behind the cemetery, there's a creek that runs through our neighborhood. And then when you walk through the cemetery, behind the cemetery is woods. You follow that a ways and you run into the Old Tangi River. Now, the Old Tangi River, other than when you get closer to campus and downtown, is pretty much woods all the way up it. And then you have High Bank Park, which I've counted now, there's one mound where you can see it. And then I know of two other mounds, but I'm pretty sure they don't know they're mounds, or they know they're there and they're just not messing with them. They've never been touched. And I'm glad because Lordy knows what's in them. Yeah, see, to me, shapeshifters are kind of like werewolves. I mean, no, they don't turn into werewolves. They can turn into pretty much anything that they want. Yeah, it's magic with the K, and it's dark. Yeah. Usually, I also always thought that shapeshifters and skinwalkers, they can also become that way when they're cursed, when they've been cursed or done something terribly wrong. But I could be wrong. But that's what I've always kind of heard too. They can make themselves one, or they've done something so horribly wrong, or they get cursed. Okay, the Potomac River. Okay, real dark. Yep. Yeah, when you start playing with that kind of stuff, it's never good. They're dealing with things you best leave alone. And it always cracks me up because, oh, I know what I'm doing. No, you don't. Seen that happen too. People playing with things they shouldn't be playing with. Now, see, I don't mind people using Ouija boards, but you got to know what you're doing. And you got to remember to close that sucker down when you're done. You say goodbye and you let them know not that they got to go. A lot of people don't do that. They freak out during it and then they automatically stop. And that's why they have issues from there on out. Because then you turning it off is a little harder, as one may say. I'm glad people came in. Yeah, I think once I go to topics too on Saturday, we might draw a little bit more in, have a because I want to make it a conversation. When we do when I do my Saturday show, well, I'm gonna start off with a couple of videos. We'll watch them and stop them and talk about them on the way through the video because you've given me permission to. This is some interesting stuff, and I want to kind of hear your opinions on some because some of this stuff I've been researching for years. So I already have kind of my set opinion about a lot of things. You know, I sit here with Laura and Gemma, and no, I don't agree with everything, but that's all right. It's what it's about. Murder and cannibalism. Yeah. No, see, now I know a Wendigo often becomes a Wendigo from eating human flesh, but they can also be bitten and become one too. That's kind of like what happens in Antlers. Yeah, I'm telling you, you've got to watch that movie. If you have not seen Antlers, Vixen, you would probably like that movie. It's creepy. To me, it was a perfect example of one of the stories I kind of heard over the years. Granny said two rivers meet in the holy place. Oh, that's not good. Man. Hey, New England, how you doing? Glad you came in. Good to see you. We're just shooting the crap. That's what we're going to do on Fridays. If we last an hour, we last an hour. If we last a half hour, that's fine too. As long as everybody comes in and has a good time, gets a chance to kind of relax, unwind, say hello to each other, see how everybody's doing. And then, like I said, Saturdays, once I get home, will be topics. Well, we're going to kind of I'm going to do a little bit of everything, but I'm start off with kind of like watching videos with you and then kind of discussing them as we go. Because I do want to hear your opinions about some of this stuff. So, how you doing, New England? Hope you're doing good. I'm glad you're just popping in. It's good. Good to see you. And I hope everybody has a good Mother's Day weekend for all you moms out there listening and everything. Please have a good weekend. Enjoy your Sunday. Let everybody else wait on you for a change. Be a man for act like a man for a day, as you would say. I saw that on a card. I had to laugh. It was good. It was true. You guys deserve your days. Somebody told me a long time ago, in the eyes of a child, mother is God. Remember that because it's true in a lot of ways. I'm putting people to sleep with my voice and my boredom. maybe that's maybe that's a good thing. At least I know I'm getting everybody else a chance to sleep. That'll be the day. Yeah, they say that. But if you start talking about it loud, you never know what happens. Yeah, that's you like this? This is one of my mini chambers. This is the blue room. The blue room. I made sure I wore blue and everything. Actually, I'm having fun because I'm just going through the internet, pulling up pictures of caves and putting them off to the side so I can have a lot of chambers to come visit. But yeah, I'm into caves. I would love to go spelunking. I think it'd be cool. Or is that right? Is that what they call it? Cool background. Yeah, I like this background. Gemma liked it too. She was like, "Oh, that's awesome." I got some other ones coming up too. Um, if I turn off my camera, you see my cave entrance here. Watch this. That was my cave entrance. This is part of the ritual to become a skinwalker too. Either the family member or close friend. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Now, see, this is why trying to make these kind of fun on Friday nights because I want to dig out my notebooks and all the research I've done. Now, I have a lot of stuff still in my head, but sometimes pulling it out is not as easy as if I have, yeah, spelunking. That's cave diving, basically, right? Oh, really? Isn't that what it's called when you go? Or am I screwed that up? Which is highly possible. But yeah, I have all my research. Now, see, if you get me on a good day, sometimes the information in my brain just comes up flowing out when I'm a little more at ease. I'm still getting used to this too. And I want to make it fun. I at least want to make Friday nights fun where we can shoot and chat. Like I said, if it doesn't last long, and only a couple of minutes or an hour. Last week we went till 2. I could have gone longer, but the crowd was kind of slowly dying out. So I figured it was time to go. Yeah, there is waters on our phone. Yeah, and you do. And you have to be a dark person. You know, people are not going to like what I say, but there are people that are just born evil. Their little soul gets taken away and something bad replaces it. I sometimes feel like that. Think about all the evil that's done in this world, and you wonder what really dark place that comes from. That it's hard to understand. Now, humans are capable of many evils, but sometimes you really have to stop and think. There's got to be a reason, something really bad behind that evil to make it come out. Yeah, now natural springs, we have a few here, and I love those things. If you get a good one, man, that water is awesome. Yeah, I believe in the hollow earth theory. Yes, I do. I do believe in the hollow earth theory. Only because of some of the research I've done. And it's kind of a touchy subject, but yes, I believe in the hollow earth theory. And I kind of get why there's flat earthers, because if you read a lot of religious texts, it sounds like we're on a flat plane, the way it talks. But I think it's a lot more to it than that. Yes, actually, Smoochie, I've done quite a bit of research on the hollow earth. There's a lot of information out there that would really make you stop and think. GD, have you ever looked into the Richard Shaver mystery? No, I haven't. I have heard about it, and if I did, it probably was a while ago. But somebody else has brought that up to me outside. A friend of mine who I talk to often. They ask me questions like that, so I may have, but honestly, right now I couldn't tell you unless I dug out all my research. Because sometimes I do. See, I'm all over the place sometimes. See, I'm not a flat earther in the way you think. Um, See, it's a weird subject. I believe the Earth is round. Let me put it that way. But I think the concept is there's a lot more to that concept than people understand. Yes, yeah, I do know that, New England. I do know that isn't he the one that disappeared or something? It's like the bird story, the Admiral Bird. There she is. How's your ear feeling, honey? Just popping in on a smoke break for a second. Got to go back to bed in a minute. Well, I'm glad to see you, sweetie. Is that ear feeling better? Which one is it? Is it both? Mine. Usually it's my right ear. See, good question. And if the earth is hollow, how could it be flat? Think about that. And you got to remember the phrase as above, as below. Doesn't have to be flat to be a below. That's good, Vixen. Like I said, Vixen, we got to talk sometime. I'd really like to. Left ear? Oh, that sucks. See, it's usually my right ear. And a lot of people say, is that the way you lay? Do you lay on your left side? Because I was always told it's usually the ear that gets the worst is the side you lay on. Put cotton balls in your ears. Well, at least I'll cut out all the yapping. Yeah, it sucks. Don't let the air hit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I was told the same thing. What I would do was I would put a little bit of Vaseline and on a cotton ball and put it in. Might have really weird ears. I can't even wear earbuds because they just my ear it just destroys my inside of my ears. They're so touchy. Yeah, everyone's horizon is around 3 miles. That's about average. But it doesn't mean you're going to fall off in that 3 miles. That's where the ball drops. I have no, I guess I'll just have to take you out in space, Smoochy, and show you. Though I wouldn't trust any of the pictures NASA show you of the Earth because they literally change from year to year. There are changes, but not as much as they make it change. But yeah. Now, see, here's the thing about the hollow Earth theory. Everybody thinks the inside is the hollow. Actually, hollow Earth, you still have a core, which, the core of the Earth, and then you have layers. I think, in relative words, hollow Earth is basically a massive tunnel, a massive underground system. And over the years, people have learned to tap into it. Indians with the ant people, how they showed them how to survive underground, they just tapped into it. You can't go into space? You sure about that? Are you sure? Now, I'm not saying you can't go into space, but there's some things you have to do before you go to space. Hey, Smoochie, I want you to go check out a guy named Woodward TV. Go check him out. Oh, really? I got to see this. Hold on one second. I'm not going nowhere. I want to see this picture. Okay. That's funny. You guys crack me up. That's great. Nightmare. I love it. In fact, actually, Smoochy, there's something in one of these videos that I'm going to show when I can on Saturdays that actually deals with that and how these people. There's a group of people that supposedly met these people from other. I don't know what you would call them, Earths, but they have created this huge map of what they think reality really is, and I'll have to post that and then bring it on. I'll bring it on here and show you that map, and you might find that kind of interesting. It stirred up a lot of conversation, that's for sure. Isn't that great? I saw that and I laughed my butt off. That's funny. Thank you, Nightmare. That was a great giggle. I needed that. I always laugh, anyways. I'm always in pretty good spirit. My mom warned me would blow warm cigarette smoke into my ear when I had. If my ear doesn't now, and I may not approve of this, but sometimes I'll take. Well, hello, cat. Um, Not much. We're just rambling, hon. We're just gabbing, just gabbing. Um, my ear gets really bad, and it feels like there's liquid in it, and I can't get it out. I take a hair dryer and put it on a warm low setting, and I don't put it right into my ear. I just kind of blow it over. A lot of times it dries up, and my earache will go away, and sometimes it'll make it easier to clean. But I hate that. Yeah, Mother Earth is pissed, and she's pissed about a lot of things. Yeah, we're just gabbing, just having fun. Just so you know, we're gonna make Friday nights just chat night, hang out and vibe out a little bit. Then when I get home, we should hopefully by the end of the month. So hopefully starting in June on Saturday nights at midnight, because I don't want to walk on anybody's shoes because there's so many good streamers out there. Unidentified, paranormal, highway, Mongolian, all those guys. They're all great to watch. So I want to make sure Mindfork, they're all, Lynn, all of them. I love them all. So I don't want to step on any toes. Plus, I'm up anyway. So at midnight on Saturday nights, I think what I'm gonna start off doing is I have some videos I'm gonna watch with you guys and kind of go through them and just maybe pause after every because he breaks it down and pause and talk about the subject he was talking about. A lot of it, like I said, is about ancient, lost history, lost technology, kind of forbidden things that they don't talk about anymore that has to deal with history, giants. He does a lot of stuff about giants, but see, I love giants as one, because I'm into kaiju, so I'm into the big things. Yeah, we are. We were put on this planet to tend to it, not destroy it. Unfortunately, you can't have one without the opposite. So if you have good, there's always going to be something bad. We just got to learn how to figure out how to deal with the bad a lot better. Yes, and love and money is a destroyer too. I agree. That's why I try not to make a whole lot of deal about money. I do my best. I just can't basically let my mind just focus on cash for the necessities. I try not to make a big deal out of it. It's calmed me down quite a bit. But then again, over the years, I've learned to chill out. Believe it or not, when I was younger, I had a pretty hefty anger. Being not sleeping and in motion all the time, I would become pretty angry. Love to hear your stories of the giants. Yes, I have a lot of. I haven't seen giant. I would love to, but I've done some good research. We all know the biblical stories of Samson and Goliath and all them, and there's a lot more out there than you realize. Yep, everybody has the same problems. We all put our pants on in the same way as everybody else, and we all sit on the toilet. Most of us do. I saw a video with all sorts of pictures of evidence of petrified giants. As yes, and I will bring that up. That is a subject I do like. Mountaintops, cliff faces. Yes, you're going to be surprised because there's a lot more. Yes, we do think we're better than everyone, and that's the sad. That's why we're in the shape we're in right now. I agree with you, Vixen. A lot of you people are making valid points. As a homesteader farming in the forest, I spend my days honoring Mother Nature and working in. See, that's the key right there, Kat. And it's a shame, what we called savages in a day were probably better off than we are now. Yes, that is true, Smoochie. And I believe the same thing that Devil's Tower is a tree. And there's a number of other things, just like the Devil Tower, that could highly be giant trees. You got to remember, people don't think. First of all, my view on dinosaurs and man, they say they never really coexisted. That's crap. Okay. That is crap. Second of all, we don't have all the pollutions and stuff. We've been terraforming this planet basically for years. Okay. But in the day, the oxygen levels were a lot higher. That means things got bigger. I've seen that too, New England. What'd you say? Yes, I have. And now beat something that I will touch on Saturdays because I really do like giants and I like a lot of that ancient history, forbidden history, stuff about the Aztecs. A lot of people say, oh, ancient alien theories. It's all kind of the same. Yeah, it is. The redwoods are massive, but these trees were bigger than the redwoods. Those redwoods would have been just babies to them. Um, well, I wouldn't say that, Smoochie. Um, there were some big creatures. See, the dinosaurs you see and what they think are only partly of what they think they are. Like I said, there's only a few dinosaurs bones that complete a full dinosaur. Most of them are just bits and pieces. You go from that. Now they can, somebody can get on here. Oh, that's not the science, but yeah, in the lost books of the Bible, and the old and scrolls, and the lost texts, and the lost scrolls, and the many other Sumerian texts and stuff like that, you'll find that things were a lot bigger. It was different, a lot different than it is now. I said, I think last Friday about, it wasn't men that killed the dragons. It was Nephilim. It was the giants. They didn't like each other. The dragons, there were good, bad, just like there were good giants and bad giants, there were good dragons and bad dragons. But most dragons were protectors. Sometimes the ugly things are the good things, and people don't stop to think about that. Somebody said, imagine if you really saw an angel. Now you got to think what an angel is. An angel is a servant of God. If you met Michael, who casts Lucifer he's a warrior. What would you think he'd be like? Would you think he'd be kind and gentle? He'd probably be pretty stern. He'd come out probably kind of cold, but honest. Yeah, there's digging going on in a couple places right now where they're finding all kinds of stuff. They still find stuff here in Ohio. We live in this country and are still doing it. Yeah, kind of. I think they're trying to put a stop to it. And in places you really can't level, they won't let you live in. They're trying to keep tabs of everybody now. So even your doomdayers and your what do you call it, the survivalists out there, they're trying to push them inward. Lucky yours, huh? And the first thing an angel would say is not to be afraid. Yes, that is true. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you got to think about, you know, if you really. Now, I've seen an angel, and I've seen a couple in my day. They weren't what I expected. Now, the one that comes to me a lot, this lady in the light, she's angelic and she's very human look, but I can never see her face. All I can see is hair, just gold hair and flowing gown, wings, and I'm only seeing what she probably wants me to perceive to see. But I know it's angelic. I know it's something special and something good. Yeah, that is true. If you look at the descriptions of angels in the Bible, you would be like, that's an alien. Think about that. We still live among the dinosaurs, the turtle. Yes, we do. We sure do. Angels ain't good. That's not true, Smoochie. Believe me, I've had a few angels save my ass in the day. I wouldn't be sitting here. As many times as I walked through death's door. Now I'm trying to watch my language. They're not good, but they're not bad either. Now you got to watch because somebody said sometimes, how do you put it? Let me tell a story. Let me tell his story. When his mother was passing, she kept saying she saw this most beautiful angel, this beautiful man come to her and comfort her. And she was really pleased by it. But see, the thing is, his mother was not really a good person. She was kind of abusive and angry all the time. But he thought, well, maybe, God's finally reaching out to her. He said the night she passed, all she did was scream in fear and terror, saying, he's taken me to the wrong place. And when she passed, she said she literally died screaming. Okay. You don't know which is which. Yeah, you kind of do if if you know what you're looking for and have faith. Now we're touching on a subject that's interesting. Jeez, who is that? GD. Oh, that was a very close friend of mine. I felt bad for him, but his mom, she wasn't a good person. But when I went with him to visit her one day, she would talk about this beautiful man coming and comforting her and making her feel good. And I'm glad I wasn't there because I would have told him it's not good, dude. She's paying her penance for her life. Exact cat. That is right on the nose. I will say that you see. I'm not good with words like you people, so I kind of have to make people understand. I try to make it sweet and to the point, uh, um, because my vocabulary is based on the ability of me being able to speak. But yeah, I kind of agree with this right here. This is very well said. Um, because we're only able to see what we're capable of seeing. And I agree with that. And more will be revealed. The veil is lifting, it's thinning and lifting at the same time. You do fine. I try. But believe me, I do have my moments. And that happens on here and stream a lot more than you people think. Yeah, see, I've had it happen twice. And I knew they were angels. They weren't the prettiest thing. But two of the times I walked through death's door, that's what happened because they told me things, and they told me things nobody else would have known, and they were able to. And all the times I've gone, 4 times, it was basically to put me back on my path. Hey, Pammy Smith, how you doing, hon? I didn't see you. You just snuck in. Well, howdy. When I went flying from the car, it was like slow motion. I can imagine when I was in the car accident with the kids in '82. That it was like slow motion the whole time. It was like, why is this taking forever? Why am I not dead yet? It turned out I was, but I'm good. I'm good. Now we're just counting days to get home. It's not months anymore, it's days. We should have been home a long time ago. But, when you're dealing with a city and got to inspect this and got to inspect that, and takes us 20 days to get us a permit, and crap. But we're good. We're getting ready. I've already started packing stuff up here. That's why you see me in the same clothes. I didn't want to bring a bunch of clothes. I'm so tired of wearing the same batch of clothes. I'm ready for some clothes. Could have been your ancestor there to guide you, Ghost. That's highly possible. Now, see, I'll tell you something. I've talked about this lady in the light before, and I've talked about it with Lynn and a bunch of other people. I see this lady in the light. I see her since, and I got real bad one night, and I mean real bad. I hadn't slept for days. I was twitching, and it was the tremors were becoming more like seizures. It was just bad, and I haven't been sleeping. So I tried to astral project this night. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not like when I was a kid when I could just poof and I was gone. Um, but I had a visitor. But since she came over the last year or so, I've noticed 2 more entities show up. And I do think one of them is an ancestral relation. Um, that's an older man, long beard, kind of looks like a Viking or Norwegian. But the other one, I'm not sure about. I know they're all good because they're, there's a little technique I use to make sure who I'm talking to because I don't talk to spirits. I don't talk to ghosts like Gemma does and all these people do. I can't. I'm not allowed, and I'm glad I'm not allowed, and I keep myself from doing it. But I have a conversation with these things. And this one, I don't know who it is or what it is, but it knows a lot about me. And it's pretty amazing. But they have made it specifically clear to me that there are two people in my life that I need to pay attention to, and that's what I've been doing. And my path has all been leading to this. Yeah, I try, it's not that I don't there are times I wish I could, because I'd like to know what's going through that thing's head and why it's following that person. I see, like I said, my big thing is, other than this and a few odds and things and odds and ends that happen over the year, most of the events that happen in my life are from helping other people or watching a situation in front of me. Very rarely does it, I will participate or it happens to me. Now, I don't deny the fact that, since I've been in a hotel, yeah, I've sat here on stream or in bed or watching TV or reading a book and watched something pass by me. But I also have to understand where I'm at. Now, I'm in a hotel, almost the hotels to me are like kind of like hospitals. A lot of people come and go. And not all spirits that are left behind are dead spirits. Life people leave a part of them behind too sometimes. They leave like a trace or a print. But yeah, I was told a long time ago, that's why I had to go stop ghost hunting and stuff, because I actually learned too from experience here that this is not a good thing for me. I'm just supposed to watch and observe. And that's what I do. And if I need to, I write it down, but most of it's locked up here. About every few months, I have like a little mental breakdown, and it all comes out. But yeah, it's kind of weird. So I try not to converse too much. There are times I've tried, only because I felt it was necessary, but it's always been like, oh, better take a time out. Like with the demon, I wish I did said something when I saw the Hat Man to that teacher. I think I might have been able to warn him, but when you're a kid, who believes you, And I've tried to warn people over the years, hey, there's something following you that's not good. Go get help, and they look at you like you're nuts. Sometimes they look at you like they know you're telling them the truth, but they don't want to believe it. I've seen that a few times. And lately, like I said, I've seen some weird stuff following people. This world is definitely changing. There is definitely a spiritual battle going on right now. Be prepared, folks. That's all I can say. I don't knock anybody's religion or beliefs. You got a right to believe what you want to believe, but just be prepared, because things are getting ready to get really intense. Maybe you should write it down and let it out. I actually do, and I do write some things down. But if I did that all the time, I mean, for a while there, I did. But sometimes when you write about certain things that you see, it tends to track them. I noticed that. If I'd write, something that was creepy I saw, I would see it. It would be in my head. So I only write down the stuff that I feel that it's important to write down. Most of it stays pretty much locked in here. I talk about it sometimes. I do have two very close friends that one is a spiritualist like Gemma and Laura, and the other one is a minister, a preacher, and they kind of help me through the tough times, and it makes it nice. They're my security blanket, because they know me probably better than anybody. They get to hear some of the really gruesome stuff that I see. So, and I don't like to talk about that stuff too much because it does bother me. Now, see, I'm not, see, I'm in the burbs. So, yeah, it's pretty, but Columbus is really not that big. So you go downtown, you're like, wow, this is downtown. Wow. I mean, they're trying to make it better. I got to give them credit, but the main thing about Columbus is campus, OSU, Ohio State University. Yeah, these nights have been going really good. I can't believe it's 15 out of for one already. Now, like I said last week, we lasted after two. If as long as people really hang out, I'm game. I don't like I said. The only reason I called it last week was I noticed we're starting to dwindle down. We got 13 people watching now, and I'm hoping they're enjoying themselves and just relaxing. That's what it's about on Friday nights. That's why I kind of want to leave the politics and stuff out the door. We hear that all week long. Let's take a break from that. If you want to talk about ghosts and goblins and things that go in the bump of the night, that's fine. But let's try to leave the politics at the door, at the cave entrance. Make it fun, make it nice. Get away from that stuff for a while. I'm going through my YouTube history looking at for the giant video. There's stuff from the beginning of March. There's all kinds of stuff out there. Um, there was a guy out there. I don't even know if he's still on YouTube. Mudvayne, what have they called him? He had some good stuff. Yeah, it's not just politics. I don't mind talking about religion either, though that's a touchy subject now, and it does cause Gemma problems with monetization on it. But I just want to make Friday nights fun. We can talk about religion and stuff, or a little bit of that, but let's keep the more intense stuff at the cave entrance. Let's try to make this a fun and relaxing night. You know, I want to make it fun. Just let us sit and chat and rap like we've been doing. It's time seems to fly pretty good, and everybody seems pretty happy. I always say if you want to go and do politics, go watch Salty Cracker. I love that guy. I'm not just so you know, folks. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I don't even consider myself an independent. I just do what I think is best for me and my family and the people around me, and for the world, because that's what counts. But yeah, I just want to make Friday nights fun. And like I said, Saturday nights we'll touch on the subjects. Like I said, the first couple I think Saturdays I got a few videos I want to sit and watch with you guys, and as we watch them, they're not very long, and we can discuss what he's got some great pictures. So probably some of the pictures New England you're talking about. In fact, I know a lot of the pictures you're talking about are in some of these videos because I've researched some of that stuff. Um, I think we'll have a good time with that. Yes, I respect all religions. Don't anybody get me wrong. I'm not a very good Christian, but I am a Christian. I believe in God. I know, and I'm pretty faithful to that. But I have no problem with everybody else. You know, I I don't push my. I voice my opinion, but I don't push my opinion. Let's put it that way. Because we all believe in different things in different ways, and that's all right. That's what makes this world so interesting. And if we can learn to talk about it all rationally, I have no problem with it. But when you start talking politics, especially now, you just dig in a hole that leads nowhere. You're always going to have somebody that gets upset. And I don't want that. I want this to be relaxing. I want it to be relaxing. Make it a soft, gentle night. I bet I'm going to tell you what, Kat. Um, there's a lot of people on here who have some great stories. Um, and that's what I want to do too. I want to hear these stories. And actually, what I'd like to see people do, like Vixen and you, Kat, write some of them down and send them to Gemma for her listener stories, because she could, listener encounter stories. I'm telling you, she could use some more, and I'm ready for another one of those videos. And if you want to even talk about those, we can go back and look at Gemma's old listener encounter stories, and we could talk about those. That would be cool to do one night too, because I have a couple in there. I know some of you have some in there. I know Vixen has one in there. That would be kind of cool too, and we can actually talk about them. And that might be a good thing to do with Gemma one Monday afternoon when we're streaming. Yeah, because I'm up for games. Right now, the key is just to keep it rocking. Yeah, please do. Yeah, you're a slacker. I get like that too. The problem is, let me say this: is it because you're always busy, or because you're just loafing? See, there's a difference. I don't call somebody a slacker who's always constantly busy and doing something, always got their hands full, and they just can't find the time. Or the person that just says, "Oh, I'm just going to do it later," and I'll do it later. That's a difference. Now that's a slacker. But yeah, I think that would be fun. I agree, Anna. Farmers, so yeah, you're busy all the time. That says a lot. My uncle Walter had a farm. He raised Angus down in southern Ohio. But he had a pretty good sized farm. It was a lot of work. I like going down there and working with him. I think the wisest advice I've ever heard was from Australian Aboriginal elder. He said that all religions hold the truth. Yes, that is very well said. I kind of agree with that too. And they all kind of lead to the same place. Think about it. We are supposed to be sitting down and listening and learning from each other. And I agree with that too, very much. That is very well said. And that's what we need to do. But unfortunately, you're not gonna with craziness in this world, and it's just people just need to calm down. Yeah, like I said, and you better hold on to your butts because you think things getting weird now. It's only beginning. It's only the beginning. But yeah, that's very well said. I agree with that. I believe in the same thing. If we would all sit down and just listen to each other, it might be a more interesting world. Gemma says people wish that they saw things and people like she saw, sees people. And then, if people, they could, if it just opened your eyes. Nobody talks about that third eye. That's fine and dandy, but sometimes just opening these two and this down here and this up here, period, you can see so much. That third eye comes in when it needs to. You raise cows. Oh, you got the smorgasbord there, don't you? Remind me to come down there. Meat birds. What are meat birds? Are you talking turkeys? Oh, you said turkey. I've never heard of it. What is a meat bird? Is that slang for something? Now, see, I'm thinking about getting chickens, a couple chickens for the backyard. We have a big enough backyard. I could put a small little coop back there, drive the neighbor nuts. I would love to do that, but I like eggs and I like to bake and I like to cook. So it'd be nice to have free eggs all the time. I mean, other than feed, but sometimes it's hard to find feed around here. Oh, amoebas. Okay. Hey, that's what I thought. I love turkey. Mm. I also like duck. I like orange duck. I make a mean orange duck. Book. Book. Oh, I was going to say text bird. There's a text bird. Oh my gosh. That's all we need now is birds texting. Yeah, unfortunately, this little black mirror has caused a lot of problems. I hate to say it, it's nice and handy, but you notice, good luck trying to find a payphone. And just a little piece of advice: your iPhone takes a heat photo of you every 5 seconds. So if you would turn off your light and get a camera with infrared and turn off your lights and hold your phone in front of you, you'll see the flashes. But you didn't know that, did you? Somebody did a TikTok video or something on it, and I was like, I knew that. That's old news. That was something Snowden had leaked out. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's interesting to know. I'll have to remember that, Cat. Kids don't play outside. No, they don't. You know, I was, we came home from school. We didn't have to do homework. The deal was we came home and we played outside. We played outside until they called us in for dinner. The only time we were to come in was to go to the bathroom or get a drink, maybe get a snack. But when we came in for dinner, we ate dinner, did homework, then we had TV time, and then it was bedtime. And usually bedtime we ended it between. Now, see, I'm from four boys, and they always kind of based it on your age, more or less. You know, two older guys, the two older brothers got to stay up a little bit later. But as we got older, of course, you know, that all goes to kaput. But kids don't play outside anymore, and it's just sad because there's such a big world out there. Yeah. See, even when I was by myself, I was in my backyard playing, and then, like I said, I I had a creek in the neighborhood. I would go down to the creek, catch tadpoles, minnows, look for toads and turtles, and go down to the wall, follow it down to the river, go look for hellbenders and stuff like that. Oh heck yeah! The kids don't do that. And when my kids were growing up, I did the same thing. You come home from school, you played till dinner, you come in, do your homework. Depending on how you behaved the night was depending on how long, but most of the time, bedtime was about 10 o'clock. Made sure they got plenty of rest. I made sure that they ate a good breakfast before they went to school, because breakfast is an important part of the day. I always found if you don't eat breakfast, you keep kind of sluggish. Only other thing is you grow up and you replace breakfast with coffee and eat on the go. Wow, this did. Now we're up to 15 people. Hey, all right. Yeah, I'm paying attention because I'm just kind of gauging things. I like to gauge things. But anybody else? Anything good? Anybody see something interesting lately? That's what I like to know. Has anybody in the last week or two seen anything interesting? Now, I didn't see much today. Now, I always see something, but I don't count those as just like when I see somebody walk into a gas station or they're walking down the street and I see something following them. I'm moving, so I don't really get to pay attention. I just see it and I acknowledge it. A couple of days ago, I was in the store and I saw another person again. Now, lately, I've been seeing these shadows and stuff, spirits and stuff, seem to be a lot closer to people. Usually, they're pretty good away, but lately, a lot of these things I'm seeing, and I'm not, and sometimes it's getting hard to tell the difference between good and bad when it comes to these things. They kind of trying like they know I'm not. I don't think they see me, but let's just say that sometimes I don't get a chance to be still long enough to figure out what's going on. But I'm noticing now that these things are becoming more attached to people. I would I see this for some reason. I always see the same person in the store at about the same time as me. It kind of creeps me out. But I have noticed the thing that follows them. Every time I do see them, it's closer and closer to them. That now it's almost like right on top of them, and I'm seeing more of that lately. But a scary world for kids now. Yeah, it is, and it's sad. Uh, Oh man, see that's and sad. That's true, Vixen. Yeah. And I'm noticing them more a lot. And I don't. I'm not gonna say it's good or bad because some of the things that I've seen that I have been able to stand still long enough and kind of make out what's going on is that, like in this one case, I was actually able to stay close enough to a person at a CVS, and this thing was right on this person. But this person was When I spoke to them, they seemed happy and chipper. And then I realized whatever it was on her was actually seemed to be trying to protect her. But I've also been in a situation where I was standing in a carryout one time, and this person had literally, it looked like it was just clamped onto this person. That thing was bad. This person come off, I wouldn't say like they've been using, but they didn't seem right at all. When they left, the guy that ran the register was like, he comes in here every day. It seems like he gets worse and worse. You could barely understand him anymore. And I actually looked at him and say, I can see why, and just left it at that. Well, hello, paranormal. How you doing, Gray Wolf? How you doing? Good to see you. What do they want, Ghost? See, I'm not sure. Um, this is the thing. Like I said, the veil's lifting. We're going to start seeing more, and more people who do not believe in this stuff are going to start. I hate to say it, believing, because when we talk religion and all this stuff, you got to remember this is all supernatural. This is a very supernatural world, and everybody's going to start. Most people will start seeing things, or just blowing them off, and most of the time that's what happens anyway. What I think is happening is because we're so stressed out nowadays. People who don't even act stressed like me, I feel the weight of this world and what's going on around it. I'm very sensitive to it. And and that's why I feel it's important why people like me try to need to stay calm and try to stay on a more positive note and keep our little anxieties off in our little corner, back in my little cave, in the darker parts of my cave where I can go and scream it out. But yeah, I think a lot of it has to do of the world and what's happening now, because this world's going through a change. Things are changing, and you got to remember sometimes to change, it gets a little worse before it gets better. In this case, I have a funny feeling it's going to get, in the next couple of years, it's going to be a wake up call for a lot of people. So just be prepared. And I think it's showing spiritually too. And I think you're going to see a lot more of the good and the bad. The good trying to protect the good, and the bad trying to take over the people that are easy to take over. But I have seen a lot of this, and I really don't have an answer other than that, and then that. Well, it's not what we can do, because everybody does things differently. A lot of it is just being positive. Have faith. Whatever faith you have it. Faith can move mountains. You stay positive. You stay enlightened as much as you can. You try to help who you can. Unconditional love is a key to a lot of things. I don't have all the answers. I would love to have all the answers, but I don't. But I'm afraid that we're going to see a lot more of this. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, because along comes the bad, there is good. I mean, you cannot have one without the other. You got to always think that. And with the bad comes the good, and with the good comes bad. We just need to learn to cope with it and how to work around it. We don't want to work around it. We want to learn how to get rid of it. But unfortunately, it's not always that easy. Now, what can we do? If you pray a lot. If you do your grace in other ways, make it hopeful. I think a little bit of this world has lost some hope and a lot of love, and it needs it back, and it's starting to show. We got to get rid of the anger and the division. Isn't that how it works, Vixen? You have all the answers you want in a nanosecond, and the next thing, boom, it's gone. It's not what we can do and how we can do it. It's knowing that there's a problem, acknowledging it, and in this case, it is. I think honestly, especially the United States, we used to be united. We're not so united anymore, are we? And it's not just here, it's everywhere. Everywhere you go, you literally talk to people from all over this world. There's division, there's anxiety, there's politics, religion, the whole works. And until we get our faith back, our hope back, a little bit of love going again, it's gonna be tense. And it's gonna be like that. But we need to learn to fight a little harder and make our stands a little stronger. And the stands for good is what I'm saying. Don't I understand why we all hesitate to help a stranger because you really don't know who you're helping. But if you listen to your gut and your heart, it's going to tell you who that person, or when you come across a person, if they're worth helping or not. Because there's some people you're just not going to be able to help. And it's sad to say, but it's true. You do what you can, you say nice words to them, and hopefully that will get them in the right direction. Giving handouts all the time is not always the best thing to do. There's other ways to help people. You point them in the direction of help. But see, that's what I'm saying. Doing things like this is better than walking away. And this is what's happening now. And this is why I think I'm seeing what I see. I mean, it has been, I would say, over the last 3 months, it has become pretty intense. Seeing some of the things I've seen when it comes to this, people being followed and stuff, because things are getting closer or things are attaching to people. Now, like I said, it's not all bad either. And like I said, there's this, one person, I know that person was being guarded. And I've seen other people like that too. Um, I've seen, it was such a blessing to see too. I hate this elderly couple comes in. I'm in the store and they come in. I'm in the store. I'm coming around the corner. I'm over by, the produce, and the doors to come in is right there. And I happen to look up and see this elderly couple. They had to have been, when my dad turns 90 in June, they had to have been close to his age. They were smiling. They were holding hands and pushing the cart together. Oh, damn it. I'm still talking now. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Why is I losing my camera so weird? Oh, come on. What is going on? Anyways, I'll just keep talking. But they were doing real good. They looked great. They were joy to watch. And then I realized as they walked past that there was this like white mist behind them. And you could see that whoever it was definitely somebody that was, I'm getting an impression maybe it was a past child, an older child, but it had its hands on both their shoulders. And you could just see the glow from them. It was a beautiful thing to see. And I've seen them a couple times. And it's the same every time I see them. And I've seen other people like that too. So there is good things out there trying to protect people. But we need to help to protect each other. That's the key. Now, I don't know why my camera keeps going out. I think something is not right. See, I get talking about certain things and this has happened. So I had planned to talk about one thing earlier. And the camera went out. That's why I didn't talk about it. Gemma the ghost. Uh-oh, Gemma shut my camera off. Gemma, shame on you. No, I can't blame that little lady. She wouldn't do that to me. And hello, Shelly. Yeah, and I've seen a couple of them like that. I actually about a week ago was watching a couple little kids play out in the front yard down the street from me when I was checking on the house. And it must have been a grandparent or somebody that must have passed. They were running around and this entity was running around with them. Every so often you see them put their arms around them and they'd smile. And it's like they knew. They may have been seeing it too. I don't know. Kids they're so open. But it was a nice thing to see. I can't believe my camera went out. I'm going to have to do a diagnostics on it and see what's going on because I don't get it. It just stopped on its own. I don't want to mess with it because I don't want to lose my mic. Is everybody okay with me being like this? Yeah, everybody all right until I can fix it? Because I'm afraid if I touch it, I'll blow it. And I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm afraid if I mess with it now, I don't want to lose everything. If we're all good with me like this for a little bit, that's fine. We'll probably cut it short tonight anyways. I'm going to find out what's going on here. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, I don't know why it did that. This is twice. I couldn't believe it did it earlier. They'll have to run diagnostics on it and check my plugs and see if everything's cool. You got to remember, I moved when moving around from the hotel, and then we got into a room. That poor little camera got jerked around a bit. Now you got to remember, I run off a PC. I don't use a laptop, so I actually have a camera mount on top of my monitor. But yeah, thank you for agreeing. But I do see a lot of good things too. I don't always see spooky, scary things or things I don't understand. Now, my biggest treat this month was chasing the black-eyed kid to the hospital for 20 minutes. That I think I got the close. It never lets me get too close. Now, I know for a fact it doesn't know I'm there, but something keeps me from getting close, and I don't think it's it because I followed that sucker for 20 minutes. And it did not once acknowledge me. But it was definitely looking for something or someone. And the last couple of times I've seen him by himself. Now, usually there are times, and it's weird because I'll go to a whole different hospital for another doctor appointment, and I'll see the same person. I'll see the same black-eyed kid. But sometimes I'll see him with either a little girl or a little boy. But that was fun. I was kind of having too much fun. I almost lost track of time chasing him because if he wouldn't have gone into a section I couldn't gone into, I'd have followed him until I knew exactly where he was going because he was definitely looking for something. Yeah, I'm sorry about my camera, guys. I guess you can't look at my pretty face anymore. Haha. No, I'll get it fixed. I just did, like I said, I didn't want to mess with it because I don't want to blow it. I was surprised I got it back, and it's done this twice now. So I'm gonna have to check the cord. I may have to get a new one. This camera I've had for a while. What you crying for, cat? Can't see me. I thought that'd be a good thing. At least you get to look at Godzilla bounce, boom, 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 boom. If I could get it working, I would. Here, let me try something real quick. Let me back out and come back and see what happens, okay? I'll be right back, folks. Here, let me do this. I can do this where I disappear for a second, see what happens. Go here. And they say I got new music. We'll see what the music is. Put it on loop. Let's see what's good. What's this? What's rough? Oh, that sucks. I'm afraid I put everybody to sleep with that. You go to damp pop. What's this? Oh, I played this earlier. I kind of like feeding the ducks. Why would you call this feeding the ducks? Now you tell me that, folks. Hold on, let me see if I can fix this while this is playing. Hey, and the music stayed on. Cool. I'm back. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to check a break in a minute and find out what's going on there. Let me get this music off. I'll have to find some better music to download. I'll have to be careful, though. Okay, how do I turn the music off? There we go. Oh, nope, I don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Back to that. I'm getting the swing of this. I was so proud of myself. I made my own stream today. I was like, oh, yay. I am back. Yes, I am back. I'm glad to be back. Oh, good. Just joking. Yeah. I'm going to have to figure out what the deal is. We had a lot of problems Thursday night too. We're going to have to figure out Gemma's Wi-Fi because, what happens, I don't think people realize when you're streaming on like StreamYard, you're invited to their streams. So when she broadcasts, we're actually all broadcasting from her stream. So basically we're sending our stuff to her, our video cams and everything, and then it goes through the stream to YouTube. Now, a lot of times when she has problems, it doesn't affect us. But man, I was having problems, and I know she was having problems. The Wi-Fi here has been amazing up until the last couple of days. Now, I like this background. I'm going to get me a green screen when I get home. Feed the Ducks is groovy. Isn't it a weird name for a song? I think I played it the other night and I was going quack, quack. Thank you, Shelly. Yes. Actually, I could just do this. And there you go. I've disappeared. I'm gone. Never to be found. But see, that's what it looks like. Actually, it's a lot bigger than that. There we go. Focus camera. But yeah, I liked it too. I'm finding different ones to put in as I go. That way it looks like I have mini chambers. Actually, this is a picture I believe Bob Lazar took of a cave that he was in. So how's everybody doing? How you doing, Shale? Welcome. So what did we say, folks? We keep going for a little bit longer. Push it till 2 for another 10 minutes. Missy 411. I have my theories about that, but they're pretty much the same theories as everybody else. Portals, Sasquatch, aliens. I'll tell you, you get out in those mountains. When we were in Colorado and we were out there running around and they let me have fun out there for one day, I climbed those mountains and checking out all the wilderness. It's real easy to get lost and it's real easy to disappear. That's for sure. So I can get a lot of these stories. The only time, other than staying at the Stanley Hotel, the only time that I ever got nervous while we were out there, other than we were sitting on her grandparents got us a cabin. So the first time, when we were out there for the first time for our honeymoon, me and the ex, we stayed at their house the first night. And then the second night, we stayed 2 nights at the Stanley Hotel. And then they got us a cabin. We had a cabin out in a YMCA out in the Rockies. It was gorgeous. And we're sitting out on the porch. And it's about 9 o'clock, middle of February. It was actually kind of warm. And we're sitting on this little porch they had. And she's drinking a glass of wine and 7-Up. And I believe I was drinking a cup of coffee and just got done smoking one. And she goes, "Don't move." I said, "Why?" And I look up and there's a bear literally standing right. I didn't even hear him. And that's unusual for me because I'm so aware. And all of a sudden he come out of nowhere, stood up, literally lifts the trash can list up, looks down in the trash can, puts the lid back on the trash can, looks at us, drops back down to the floor, and moves to the next cabin. I'm like, holy crap. I said, I'm just too happy for this situation. Yeah, my ex, I like calling her my ex. I also call her T. She's a good woman. She did a good job with the kids. She really went beyond the call of duty when I got sick. But and I call her ex. I guess I don't know how else to call her when I talk to other people. It's not disdain. I try not to say it with disdain because I really respect her. We may not agree on everything, but we get along and we do everything for the sake of children and we respect each other still. And that's a good thing when it comes to when you end a marriage. And it was just I got sick. I didn't want everybody to have to deal with it because I got real bad for a while there. And it didn't help when she was told, oh, well, he's a hypochondriac. He's doing it for attention until I went into court and divorce court, and my lawyer dropped down a stack of medical files, and because I didn't know, and I said I tried to tell you. We were married 15 years. You figured you'd figured it out. So, but no, we get along, and it's good that you try to make that kind of a thing because the kids are the important thing. And God knows I have crazy kids. So I kind of know how my dad felt raising four boys. I had two daughters and a son. My son was the mellow one. Now he had a temper like mine. He still does. My temper's not like it used to be. My temper chilled a lot before I got married. Like her? No, I like her. I don't agree with everything she does. She's really bad about giving me the info when I need on kids. I have to go and ask. But no, we meet every couple months and have lunch and discuss the kids and make sure we're all good and everything. She remarried, so I always laughed because she always said, "I'm not remarrying again. I'm never going to remarry again." What she do? She remarried, but he's a good guy, and I have no problems. I figured someday I'll find my love. When it comes along, I'll be happy. Life is too short to be walling around in sadness all the time, and I have my moments, believe me. But then again, I think a lot of that has to do with everything I see and the lack of sleep. And I'm always in motion, always. Like I said, well, to each his own. My son is saying that right now. He didn't think he's not going to get married. And he said if he did get married, he wouldn't have kids. My oldest brother is married and they never had kids. And he's almost 65 now. Now they kind of regret it, but I get it. He was able to do whatever he wanted. His wife is very successful. She worked for a number of oil companies. So then they're making money. And basically she became his sugar mama. But no, they're a good couple. And Lynn's a great lady. Smart one too. So I admire her a lot. She knows her stuff, man. She's got a good head on her shoulder. And Tim's not a dumb either. I'll just call him that because he acts like it. But then again, he is the oldest. Yes, I think it's important. I mean, no, you don't always get along with your other half when you divorce, but um, considering the way things happened, I didn't want to. I didn't want to, walk away. We didn't want to walk away from each other because we knew the kids were important. Yeah, there was a couple years during the divorce and a year or two after that was kind of rough. But when you sit down and talk, it's amazing what happens. Old man eating the shoe. Ha ha ha. Nah. Everybody has somebody out there. Just got to open your eyes and look. Flip flop. Ha ha. Shell, you're killing me. But yeah, I think it's important to, maintain. See, that's another thing that, she asked, what can we do? Maintain good and healthy relationships. You know, everybody says get rid of the negative. That's good to get rid of the negative. But if you can make that negative a positive and make them change, you don't want to change. It's hard. You don't really want to change somebody. You want them to want to change. And if you can bring that in a person, you've done a good job. Even if they don't change, at least they're aware of it at one point. And then you move on. But you got to at least try. At least find a way to see if there's some good in that little negativity somewhere so you could light that spark, get that spark going. But it don't always happen that way. We know that. So everybody's leaving me. No, everybody's still here. 14 now. I cannot believe we have been going now for 2 nights till 2 o'clock. That's awesome. And thanks, Mike, for coming back. And we're still going. We're just hanging. I saw you come in. Yeah, we're just hanging out so far, just shooting the crap. I was going to go fishing in my cave pond here, but I forgot I had it stocked with piranha. No, it's not. Just kidding. Yeah, I believe, if I remember, I'll have to go look. This is a picture that was taken by Bob Lazar when he was visiting a cave. I have to go look to see where it's cave at, because a lot of times I'm just, before stream, I'm going, oh, I like that cave. Oh, I like that cave. So I've been just saving pictures and haven't really looking into them yet. They just nibble. No, believe me, you don't want dragon piranha in there in your water, because that's what they are, dragon piranha. Never left, just regained consciousness. Mike, come on now. Don't make me call Gemma. Yeah. Whip y'all in gear. No. Bless her heart. But yeah, what else is good? Anybody seen any good movies? And I talked about Antlers. And I really suggest, folks, if you have not seen that movie, check it out. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I finally watched The Witch. I was okay with it. It was creepy. Yeah, cool. Nah, I think she went to her mom's. No, she's at her mom's, I believe. And she's probably in bed. I watched The Witch. That was all right. It was good. It was. And what was the other one I watched that I finally watched? Oh, Hansel and Gretel. That was weird. Nah, it was okay. Now, has anybody seen the new Evil Dead? That's my next movie. I'm going to actually go see it. I think I'm going to go. It's at the drive-in. See, we still have a drive-in here. How many do you have? How many people here still have drive-ins close to them? Because we still have a drive-in here. I love it. That was a thing we did growing up as a family. Twice a month during the summer, or at least once every other week, we went, depending on what was playing at the drive-in, we went to the drive-in. Yeah, I'm surprised there's still quite a few out there open. A Nightmare, Mike says he still has one. Time Trap, was it good? I'll have to check it out. Random pop-up. But yeah, I love going to drive-in. Yeah, I saw what we do is this is how I got my love for like Sinbad movies, the Harryhausen movies. Dad would always make sure when they were showing a John Wayne movie like Rooster Cogburn or the Cowboys at the movie theater at the drive-in, we'd go that would be the first movie would be like Sinbad and the Golden Voyage or the Eye of the Tiger. I saw Eye of the Tiger there. What was the other one? But I saw all the Sinbad movies, most of the Ray Harryhausen movies there at the drive-in. And then they would show a John Wayne or a war movie after that was hot at the time. And I've always loved hanging out the drive-in. A lot of people do that now. And a classic car, there you go. That's all you need. Actually, my son wants one of those projectors so he can, take it outside and hook it up. Now, see, I've seen all the Planet of the Apes at the drive-in, believe it or not. Money Pit. I haven't seen that in a while. Usually, when we go to the drive-in, I always try to catch the movies I want to see. Now we watched all three of the Toby Spider-Man at the movie theater. See, the nice thing is the movie theater we go to, my eldest daughter, her boyfriend was her boyfriend. He was kind of an abusive jerk. But her daughter, my granddaughter's father, his family runs that theater. So they either sometimes they let us in for free, depending on how business is. Well, sometimes they only charge us like $5 for a car full. So I can't complain. But it's a good time. There ain't nothing to me. There ain't nothing like sitting in a lawn chair. Now that they don't use the speakers anymore, you just use your radio. So we just bring a boom box. Make sure we have extra batteries, so we don't run the car battery, and use a boom box to listen to the movie. Best speaker system outside. It's freezing. Yeah, it's supposed to get a little chilly, but like I said, it's been raining here. It's like 69 here, and it's still kind of muggy even with the rain. Real alligators at the concession stands. That's funny. Are you sure it wasn't just alligator meat? Oh, I think the feature was alligator. That's an old movie. Money Pit. I love it, Nightmare, that you post the links to the movies. That's funny. That's cool too. Thank you. I saw all the plants that they eat at the drive-in. See, what else did I see there? A lot of horror movies. A lot of the old 80s stuff. Now we have where I'm at now, up the road used to be another drive-in. It became a porn drive-in. And the neighbors started complaining because there's this big porn movie on this big, huge screen out in the middle of the country. It didn't last long after that. They finally shut it down. I think the movie theater was just doing anything to get its draw. But the one down south of us, they still do a crowd, and they have their weekend. And they do. I think all year long when the weather's good, they have their flea market during the day, which is nice. You can go find some cool stuff. Mm-hmm. The real thing. That's right, Pam. You're in Ohio, aren't you? Now we've been raining here, Pam, all night. It started probably about 3 or 4. A storm came through, then took a little break, picked back up just before dark, and it's been raining ever since, off and on. The poor dog was going nuts because he's such a baby. It's funny. He tries to tiptoe in wet grass, and it cracks me up. The first drive-in movie I ever saw, I was 11 years old. The original Friday the 13th. Oh, yeah, there you go. I puked all the way home. It wasn't that bad. Bottom and flushed them. Yeah, that's. Oh, down and on. Okay, that's what I thought. That's how we got babies. Yeah. I was 11. Um, a lot of people thought that was a joke, but, down south, it's pretty common. Now, when they said it in New York, I think it was only like a couple incidents where an alligator actually survived. The double D2 screens. Basically, it was what it was. But they only was allowed to use one screen because of it, because the other screen faced the road. so you could literally drive by and see it. And so they tore down the one screen because it was two screens there, but it didn't last long. They shut it down, which was a good thing because it was just becoming a bad haven. Yeah, ours was a Tiger Drive-In. Now we had at one time Lily a drive-in on the north, east, and west side, and the south side. The north one went crap, then it went down. Then the one out west, it burned down. Then the one out east, I think it was open for it tried to open back up, but I think they had the people that owned it tried to sell it, and I don't think they ever was able to sell it. But the one down south has been the longest one here in Ohio so far, and I like going. I do. I like sitting in the lawn chair. We'd actually my dad used to have an old Ford station wagon where the seat flips up in the back trunk and you face out the back window. It was perfect for the drive-in. He would back in, we would sit there, and then mom and dad would sit in lawn chairs. They would bring my rock. I had a lawn chair that rocked, and that's what I sat in because I don't sit still. And my brothers would hate sitting with me because I'd rock in the seat. I'd get to rocking, not paying attention, get to rocking really hard, and stop it, stop it. And they hated it when we were like driving to the car and stuff because I'd doze off in the car and start rocking, and my dad go, "Wake him up! He's moving the car." Sneak, yeah. Now we used to do that too. Sneak the pony kegs in. But I wonder. I really wonder how many's left across the states. I'm pretty sure quite a few. You would think the ones down south where it stays, weather stays decent longer, they'd probably be able to open longer. Because here up here it's seasonal. And he just opened about now. He as soon as the weather gets all year round, as long as the weather's nice, they run the flea market in the parking lot, in the drive-in during the day, and then usually it's about end of March they open up and just basically run movies on the good as long as it's decent out. We went last weekend and watched Guardians of the Galaxy at the drive-in. I enjoyed it. It was a blast. We were going to stay for Ant-Man and Wasp, but we'd already seen it. But I hadn't seen Guardians yet. It was good. I loved it. We went and saw that. That's what I did last Saturday. I went to the drive-in. That's why I'm so happy. And now they're showing this weekend on one screen. They're still showing Guardians of the Galaxy, and on the other screen it's Ant-Man. And then on the screen that we were going to go tomorrow, but it's supposed to be Ucky, and it's Mother's Day, and I'm going to take my dad down to Chile to see his sister. But on the other screen it's Evil Dead, the new Evil Dead, and something else. I'll have to go back and look. Anybody else got any good movies that's out now that's worth going to see? I'm waiting for Flash because that whole thing was a debacle. But now everybody's saying that scene got to preview it, saying it may be the best one they've ever done. We'll see. It's our Guardians. Evil Dead. Yeah, see, I'm a Bruce Campbell fan. I've always liked Bruce. I've met him a couple times. Super nice guy. And what you see on TV and when he's talking is the way he really is. He's a character. I met him at a couple comic book conventions. Super nice guy. But yeah, I like those. The second, but my son, he's not into those. He's not into scary movies, but he loves Evil Dead: Army of Darkness. He just loves that movie. We have one not far. Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, they're still out there. I try to push them because they're kind of a dying thing now too, and it's sad. I've spent a lot of good childhood memories on a Saturday night or Friday night at the drive-in. And yes, I did go to see the movies. I didn't go to make out in a car. Actually, I was the geek kid, so the watching the movie was really no choice. You guys are killing me. Such love. I think everybody's getting tired. We're starting to dwindle down now. Yeah, I think about ready to call it. I didn't realize we made it another 2 hours. Hopefully next. Hey, and if anybody that gets on Facebook and they can, Stephen Lee Davis, you got any suggestions of things we can talk about? Please don't be afraid to drop a line. Ghost, been seeing a boy about 5, again in a striped shirt, shorts, short blonde hair. That's me, Shelly, when I was a little kid. Don't worry about it. You're just seeing my past. Now, watch out because I have a habit of going up to people because I was always in motion. I'd like to put people in motion, so I'd go up and kick them in the shins real hard. So if he comes up and kicks you in the shins, you know it was me. While I'm playing a game, you know, I brought my PS4 to the hotel. Damn it! Pardon my mouth again. You can't log into the hotel internet with a PS4. But if he's about 5, I would still have my blonde hair. That was way before. But yes, I was often wearing a striped shirt. I liked my shorts when I was a kid. So that's pretty funny you said that. Anyways, so I'm glad I have games that, you don't need to play online. But I'm getting kind of bored because the only 2 games I brought with me was Injustice and what was the other one? I stopped playing. Giles took it from me. Um, oh, damn. Sorry. Oh, I was playing Mortal Kombat. He took that from me because he had a friend come over, visit him upstairs. So they were up there playing Mortal Kombat. But I like my fighting games. I didn't smart enough to bring Doom, and I should have brought the Doom game. Hey, AK Willie, how you doing? Thanks for showing up. Yeah, we're still going. I'm about ready to call it a night, but now I'm in no rush to get out of here. As long as people are still rapping with me, I'll keep talking, even though I'm just rambling. How many times we've changed subjects? How many times have I wandered off? But I like to wander off because it's fun to get lost and look for your way back. And we're all doing good. How you doing, AK? Good to see you. I'm glad you stopped in. I really am. Just so you know, we're on Friday nights at midnight. And then when I get home, like I keep pushing, we're doing Saturdays. And I'm going to start off, we're going to watch a couple of videos that I got okay to watch. We're going to watch a couple of videos and talk about the subjects. And then Friday nights, we're just going to chill and hang out, just rap whatever happens. Kind of like what me and Gemma does on Mondays. So, and what they do on Thursdays. They use a little more of the spiritual thing because they're there on Thursday. Laura, bless her heart, that's what she's good at. That's why we try to give her one night, for herself, an hour or so. And I sit in the background just to make sure everything runs smooth for her. I'm there, as you know. I'm just hanging out in the background. Basically, what I did last Thursday. And then Wednesday nights with Gemma. Oh, excuse me. So just remember, Mondays, she has a video comes out at 11 o'clock. She'll kill me if I don't find out what. I don't know if she put it up yet. And then every other Monday after that video premiere at noon, we'll stream together. And then Wednesday nights, live Oracle with Gemma. from 7 to whenever, or 7:15 to whenever. And then Thursday nights, on Thursdays will be Laura from 8 to 9 or so. And then every other Thursday will be all three of us. And then me on Friday nights at midnight. And then when I get home, it'll be Friday and Saturday nights, as long as I'm not stepping on any other paranormal or people's streams, because I don't want to do that. I want to keep this kind of flowing for everybody. I'm just basically doing Fridays just so everybody can relax, forget about politics and all that crap for a while and just shoot the crap. We all need that once in a while. Use the phone hotspot. Hey, guys. Use the phone hotspot. You know, I wouldn't own this sucker if I was forced to have it. You kind of are now. I told Dad he should have never got rid of his landline. You know, people still have landlines. And just remember, when your cell phone goes out, all those cell phone towers, you'll still make a phone call on that landline. You know that, right? And there are landlines still up, so they work. Good luck getting somebody to come out and hook it up for you. Hey, you one. Hey, you. Sounds like you were being yelled at, Mike. Hey, you. What are you doing? Did you get lost once? Honey, Shelly, I've been lost for years. It just looks like I found my way back. Yes, corded landlines are the best. And I'm telling you, I told Dad you should have never got rid of your landline because you may need it someday. I cracked up because I was telling Giles about dial up internet. So I had to play him the sound. He was like, "Are you serious? You had to deal with that?" And I go, "Yeah, it sucked. That drive me nuts." Heck, I still try to get him to watch a black and white movie. Kid will not watch a black and white movie. Ghost been seeing this boy again. Well, if you see him, maybe he's trying to tell you something. It's pretty funny the way you described him because I wasn't a short kid. I was a kind of a skinny, lanky kid. But I had blonde hair. I had a Charlie Brown shirt that I liked to wear. I honestly did. Excuse me, folks. So when you described a kid, I laughed. That's why I laughed. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but I was kind of a skinny, lanky kid. But I did. I had a Charlie Brown shirt that I loved to wear. I felt like Charlie Brown a lot of times. So anything good? Anybody? Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. I'm going to call it here pretty soon. I think I'll call it at 2:30. Sounds fair. That'll give us 2.5 hours. Make some rap. Somebody tried to get me to rap. I laughed. I said I couldn't rap if you wanted me to. You couldn't put a gun to my head and I wouldn't rap. I couldn't. It was just I couldn't do it. I can't do it. And no, YouTube, that was just a joke. Okay, so don't take it seriously. But yeah, because of my speech, and well, a lot of it has to do with my vocal cords, and then the nerves. Um, some of the tremors played havoc on my face. If you look, my face is like sometimes it's real pussy. It's literally nerve damage from all the years of twitching and the lady in the back. What lady in the back? Who are you talking to? If there's a lady behind me, I hope she's got money because I ain't splitting the room costs. I'm splitting the room costs. Oh, thanks, Pam. Thank you so much. That's real sweet of you. Thank you. And like I said, all this goes to keep this going. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. Let's give you the treatment here. And I'm a big Snoopy guy anyways, Pammy. So you already got me there. I like Snoopy. I grew up on the Peanuts, Hanna-Barbera, Looney Tunes. They don't make cartoons. I gotta admit, I like Ed and Ed and Eddie. I like Dexter, but nothing beats the cartoons I grew up with. Ooh, I'm wheezing. That's not good. And I was gonna light up a cigarette. But so like I said, oh my God, goes too weird. Yeah, a lot of things are weird anymore, Shelly. Because it's highly possible. Maybe you've seen a fragment of my childhood. Everybody look away. That's all right, Mike. It ain't nothing we've all seen before. If anything, we'll probably just scream. Ah! Go away, go away. But thank you, Pammy. That was nice of you. Thank you very much, hon. The shirt. What shirt? My shirt? Santa Claus's shirt? Actually, I think after I'm done, I'm going to jump in that nice clear blue water. It looks good. Oh, yeah, you wish. You wish, Mike. Oh, the striped shirt. Yeah, I used to have a Charlie Brown shirt. I actually had one that actually looked like this with the crinkle. Then I had just a yellow, a gold and blue shirt, kind of like a Michigan color shirt, even though I'm not a Michigan fan. Any barbecuing lately? Man, we're not at home, so I don't have access to a barbecue grill at the moment. We're actually living in a hotel. We'll hope to be home at the end of the month, but no, I haven't. Not had a chance yet. But I can't wait. We got a smoker out back now, so I'm ready to try some smoking. Do me some smoking. I'm ready for a good smoked brisket. Sounds good, don't it? Unless you're a vegetarian, then I'm sorry. But I'm ready for a smoked brisket. And then I think since we've been see the thing about this, it's actually not a bad place, and I adapt pretty good. When we were in here first, like I said, we were in a handicap room. Dad had a room. A lot of you guys know this. And then I was sleeping in the living room. And when I was streaming with Gemma, Dad would be his room, his bed faced me, so he'd be watching me, and I would go shut the. There was no door, so you couldn't shut the door. Oh man, you can invite us all over for dinner, AK. That sounds good. Actually, some ribs do sound good right now. So it was hard, but now we're in this. He's got one side. Do we have a living room, and then on one side is a room, and then he's got a nice little hallway with his own bathroom, and then I have my own room with a bathroom. I think this is the first time in my entire life that I was able to enjoy a bathroom and not have to share it with anybody. I gotta go. Why do you always wait till I'm in the shower? But ribs sound really good. Now you're making me hungry. And I've already had my nightly bowl of cereal. I had Frosted Flakes tonight. That's usually my bedtime snack. I got hungry. So, trying to keep dead air here. Two ladies searching for this kit. Interesting. Are they ghosts too? Are they spirits too, Shelly? I'm just curious. See, you should be talking this stuff about this with Gemma. Hungry. Yeah, now I'm getting hungry too. The ribs have got my belly growling now. But don't eat it all up, Mike. Leave some. Now, see, I'm not that type, Shelly. I have to see it. And I can't see you, so I can't see it. I don't pick up like Gemma does. That's why I said she's better for that. But if you give me details, I might give you ideas, but that's about it. And even then, I wouldn't be too sure because I'm a visual guy and a touch. So that sounded horrible, didn't it? I just sounded like some crazy guy. Now I do sometimes. That kind of gift kind of comes and goes with me. I'm more of this visual. I see. Usually, I can see stuff in videos or in pictures as long as the video's live. Now, I think there's only been a few times where I've been watching somebody's pre-recorded video and noticed something, but it's usually during live streams I see stuff. And sometimes I'll look at pictures and I'll see things that other people don't see, or I guess I have an eye for detail on that, but I don't. I also don't make it a point to purposely look for things. When somebody asks me, "Oh, will you look at this?" I have to tell them, "Well, give me a minute. Let me clear my brain. Let me not think about it, and then I'll look at the picture here in a little bit." And I try to and then look at the picture. Because, like I said, sometimes you see more when you're not looking for it. Yeah, it's just everybody's different. Gemma's really good at that. I know a couple other people are really good at that too. One of the ladies that helps me here, her name is Patricia, dear friend of mine. We all, me and the other guy, Thomas, the preacher, we all went to church together. Um, she went one direction, he went the other, but they were all very close. We all talked to each other. Now she's like a lot like Gemma and Laura. She knows her stuff, and I just leave that stuff to them. And I have all kinds of other information rolling around my head and between what I see and sometimes hear and touch. This boy always seems happen around you and his Miss Gemma like the dusty kid on the wagon. Now I don't know about the dusty kid on the wagon. Now she hasn't brought him up for a while, so maybe she moved him on. Now I know there are times that I have things behind me. But like I said, I don't acknowledge them. I don't, and it's very rare that there is something behind me. Usually, when I'm in a room, it seems to clear out. So if there is something behind me, that's pretty rare. Um, like the night that you kind of discovered yourself and that whole stream went crazy. Now, I knew there was stuff going on that night around me. But usually it's pretty rare. And if something comes to me, I don't say much. It may say something. It may leave a sign or something for me to know that I need to know something. But I don't communicate. I try my best now not to communicate unless it's absolutely possible, unless it's my lady in the light and the other two entities that I speak with. And they're always together anyways. Now, yeah, I think the little boy she was discussing was part of a wagon train and something bad happened to him. So, she in Jersey and all that, all the way through here, I've seen stuff here. I've seen, I'm pretty sure was an Indian. I'm thinking it was probably part of the Hopewell tribe, an Indian from the Hopewell tribe. Down around the mounds, I would see. We went down a couple times. It was same thing. So I think I'm seeing like a what do they call that? Like a record player, just the same event happening over and over again. You always see him about 6 or 7 o'clock at night. It's usually around like the quarter moon, and he walks from one side of the area. There's a big mound at the Adina Hopewell Mounds in Chillicothe. And the one main mound is pretty cleared out, and then there's a bunch of little mounds. And he goes from one mound passes the big mound, and heads into the forest. And it's always the same time every night. People sometimes catch pictures of him, sometimes they don't, but people have seen him on a number of occasions, and it's definitely one of them. I've actually seen a couple weird things around those mountains because the ranger down there that we know really well sneaks us into a few of these parks that have mounds. We hung out the Serpent Mound one night, all night. That was an interesting night. That was a very interesting night because we heard a lot of chanting and it sounded like singing. It was cool. But see, that was when I was ghost chasing. Now I have been to the mountains since at night. Pretty much now we just go. We don't go looking. We just kind of hang out. I'm about ready to do it again now the weather's getting nice. I'll probably go. I think Charles wants to go at the end of June. So we'll see if we go again. 51st Dates. I actually like that movie. Actually, I like The Wedding Singer. It's probably my favorite Adam Sandler movie next to Billy Madison. I searched and asked about the Black Feather Man. That was you, Ghosty. Yeah. Oh, if you were 51st date and you have memory loss every 5 seconds. Shelly, you're going to town. Now, see, you're talking about stuff that you should probably be talking to Gemma about. You need to sit down and write her a complete, detailed email. Did you hear Cave of the Mounds? More details, Mike. Now, I know around certain mounds around here, there are openings to caves. What are you looking at, Swan? Yep. Hey, we're at 2:32. We went overtime. Everybody seems to be having a good time just rapping. That's what I like. That's what we're here to, just to have I don't mind going in chats. I've gone into other chats at night where they're just playing, letting books play and stuff. It's nice. But it's always nice to have somebody on screen talking to you too. I was texting and half awake. You shouldn't text sleep text. Sounds like work, Ghosty. I'm always working, Smoochie. If like now, it may not move. I am twitching here, but my legs are going 1,000 miles a minute. It's why I stay busy all day. Gemma is like, man, you're always on the go. So I have no choice. Well, the situation I'm in right now makes it even crazier because it makes me even go even more. Constantly going back and forth, making sure they're doing the work on the house and that the money's being properly spent from the insurance companies, making sure Pop is keeping his head together because he doesn't like, being stuck in the hotel for him is crappy because, he's used to be able to go out in his backyard and piddle with his lawnmowers because he's a mechanic, or going down in the basement, he paints. So he hasn't been able to do any of that. And it's kind of bumming him out and he's ready to go home. Okay. But yeah, you need some speed. I don't need no speed. Nope. It's bad enough I drink coffee, but the coffee's like calms me now. It does. They put me on Ritalin when I was a kid. And this will calm him down. He'll be good. No, it made me worse. Way worse than I'd ever been. And I was oh man, my hair. I'm as bad as Gemma. Look, my hair is all messed. It's bad enough my head keeps disappearing into the background. No, that stuff, it made me worse. A lot of the reasons I don't take the Tourette's meds, and some of the other movement disorder meds, actually the side effects, the bad side effects, just outweigh the good. And it's just, I don't want to walk around going, "Ugh." And it don't even do that. A lot of times it doesn't help. It works for like a week and then it doesn't do crap. Now I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I've seen my share of black beauties and bumblebees, and I had a friend that was hooked on them, about killed himself with having a heart attack. He said, "Don't do that." My dad used to call them trucker go-go's because he was mechanic for Wonder Bread. A lot of the truckers would take that stuff. But yeah, it's not good stuff. I mean, I have seen it help people. Now, don't get me wrong. I've seen Ritalin actually do a lot of good for some people. When I ran a bonanza down in Cincinnati, there was a young man that worked for me, and they had him on Ritalin. Yes, it took him. His mom told me it took him about a month to get used to it, but she said the change has been just there. He is. Behold, I was wondering when you were going to pop in, or have you been listening and lurking around? How you doing, Mike? I lived in Cincinnati. Yeah, Chris Jarvis, if you know who he is, he's from Cincy. But yeah, I lived down around Clarane. I ran a business. I ran a bonanza in Harrison, Ohio, right there on the border of Indiana. Yeah, I just it didn't work for me, but I've seen it do wonders for other people, so I don't knock it. But yeah, a lot of that medicine, it's like pain meds. I take it for about a week, and it's like taking baby Tylenol. It doesn't do anything for me anymore. Yeah, I know it was smoochy. Yeah, you don't want to do that though. It's not a good thing. I've seen most people who did it for fun and was taking it without a prescription mess them up pretty good too. So just be careful. You don't. It's not good to take that crap like that. I'm okay. You? I ended up napping. Guess the heat got to you. Yeah, it got pretty steamy here too. Yeah, we're still hanging out. I was gonna call it at 2:30, but we're just hanging, and I'm in no rush. Tomorrow's Saturday, so I got it pretty easy to. It's supposed to rain here all day, so it kind of blows me doing outside work because I've been trying to work on the outside of the house until we get inside for the summer. It's been raining, so that kind of blows that. So I'm kind of nice because things have kind of lagged down now that we're getting closer to home. Now it's just making sure money's going to the right people and people are getting paid and the job is getting finished. And I'm it's kind of nice because every so often I get what I call um, kind of purgatory setup where I have lag in between things going down. It gives me a chance to catch my breath, kind of get some of my own stuff done. I have a crap of doctor's paperwork over there I got to fill out. Yeehaw. And I'll be caught up here soon on my own personal stuff. Yeah, fibro sucks. Fibromyalgia. Yeah, yeah. I have what they call a degenerative disc disease. Or I had bone cancer a while ago. It was really messed up and I had to go through chemo, but they killed that. But the degenerative bone disease, it just triggers, it's from rocking all the time. It sucks. But it only sucks if you let it sucks. I'm in purgatory. Yeah, I get that way too, Mike. And when I get like that, I just try to take advantage of it, enjoy the quiet, and just kind of relax. There you go, burgers and dogs. We had burgers the other night. See, that's the thing. I'm in a hotel. All I have is two stovetop burners. They're nice, but that's all I have. I don't have an oven, so I can't cook a decent meal. If we want something really good, we have to either order out. And to me, unless you go sit down, and Dad, He likes to go out to eat, but you get tired of Bob Evans all the time. The old folk. Yeah, I actually like Bob Evans, but you know, like tonight we had Jersey Mike's for dinner. It just sounded good, so I figured, all right, well, let's go get Jersey Mike's. I didn't have to cook. I have been making like beef stew. I made a pot roast on the stove. It kind of takes a little longer, but if you get a good early start, it cooks real nice. You know, Gemma said she had a crock pot recipe for meatloaf. Now, my dad loves meatloaf, so I'm hoping to get that from her when I get the crock pot back. We don't have a crock pot here. See, they took all that stuff from me when we. That's what my dad gets, Mike, is he gets the Philly. He loves their Phillies. And that's what he gets. He likes Charlie's Phillies and Jersey Mike's. But now I think he likes Jersey Mike's more because I got him a sandwich tonight, man. That sucker was full. I mean, it was like, holy cow. Yeah, I would like to get an air fryer. And the thing is, now I told Dad, now we're almost out of here. I should have bought one while we were here. I could probably done all kinds of stuff. Yes, yeah, I like meatloaf. Now, see, my son's real picky. We tell him, if you don't like what you eat, well, my mom used to tell us when she made dinner, if you don't like dinner, you know where the cereal's at or where the bologna's at. You make your own, you clean up your mess. But yeah, I like meatloaf. Now, you don't have to buy me one. Goodness. I'm I'm perfectly not capable to do that. No, just kidding. No, you don't have to do that. I'm good. I'm good, man. I appreciate it. I really do. No, we'll get one. I'm just waiting. See, the thing is, when they moved us out, they took all our stuff. Well, now I have a stack of papers this thick of all the things they threw away. So, in other words, it was either smoke damaged or so full of smoke that it will never get rid of the smell. So now I have to go through this list before we get ready to move home. I I have to make sure that we're going to get our refrigerator back. I'm kind of hoping they threw the stove away because the stove my dad was using was from the 70s. I mean, he kept it working, but it's time for it to go. Um, the washer, nothing down in the basement was damaged too bad, so they pretty much left everything there in the basement. But I'm going to have to probably buy a new recliner for dad. Or they saved the couch because it was kind of, I think it was leather. Giles got it for us. The TVs all survived. They cleaned them real good, took them apart, cleaned them, and they look nice. They almost look like brand new now. Um, I'm hoping they kept our deep fryer because we did have a deep fryer. I just bought a little toaster oven and the microwave. I don't care if they threw it away because that was like one of the first microwaves ever created, I think. I mean, it still had the turn knob. But yeah, there's going to be stuff that we're literally going to have to, it's going to be like moving in to a new home again because there are things we're going to have to place. I have to make sure all our bedding's going to be there, all our mattresses. My mattress was brand new because I have to buy one every couple of years because I trash them rocking. The Instant Pot lady was hilarious. I remember that. Laugh loud. Not saying you aren't. I know you're not, Mike. You're good, but like I said, I do appreciate it. I really do. Instapot, Instapot. You know, always like the lady that did the dump dishes where you just dump everything in a pan, mix it up, and put it in the oven. Actually, there's some of those recipes are really good. Trying to read chat. Sorry for the dead air. Yeah, actually, that's probably a good thing. Just make sure you're using your air fryer to dry out the mushrooms. Instapot overrated. I'll tell you, I one thing I have grown because we have a deep fryer, but I really love the crock pot. Because yeah, I rock too. Oh, do you really? Do you rock like all the time? It's pretty bad. I mean, I literally broke cribs as a baby. Now, see, I'll rock myself to sleep and I won't realize I'm doing it. So I'll lay there for a while, thinking, oh, I'm cool. And next thing I know, I'm cruising. I'll catch myself, or some dad will come in and the bed's hitting the wall. You're banging the wall. I've actually had when I lived in an apartment, the guy next to me goes, "Man, you get lucky every night." And I go, "No, that's me rocking in my sleep." I was so embarrassed. I said, "I wish it was that nice, but I'm not like that." But yeah, thanks, but no thanks. Um, I would rock my sleep, but I literally broke cribs. Um, I broke my first bed within a month. They got it. They tried putting my mattresses on the floor. That was an interesting experiment, which was even funnier. We use a lot of recipes from a YouTube channel called Plates. She has a lot of crock pot. Oh, really? I'll have to check her out. But yeah, when Gemma told me that she had a crock pot recipe for. Now, I've made lasagna in the crock pot, but I've never made meatloaf in it. And if it turns out as good as she says it is, my dad would be in heaven. You do butt crunches. Okay. Now, I rock pretty bad. Um, when I was younger, if I wasn't paying attention, I'd catch myself rocking on the couch. I literally would bust the spring out the back of the couch. That's no joke. I would, I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to sit in recliner chairs because I break them down in a matter of a month, and they're crumbled. So that I have two wooden rocking chairs that I sit in that I love dearly. I'd like to get better pads. I'm gonna have to get new pads for them if they. I'm gonna probably have to. They probably threw them away. I get you, Smoochie. I get you. But never heard of crock pot meat. Yeah, Gemma said that she had a recipe for crock pot meatloaf. That sounds actually awesome. Good and nice butt too. I bet you do. But I better watch what I say. But no, I like to bake. I like to cook because, like I said, I worked in a restaurant. After cooking steak for years and everything else. But I like to bake. I like making cookies. I like making cakes. I don't think I could be professional. It's pretty much just for my own joy. It's my way of relaxing. I gotta admit, I make a pretty good coffee cake. So they always turn out pretty tasty. They must because I make it in the morning and by night it's gone. I might get a half a piece out of it. Uh, we used to make monkey bread. How do you know about monkey bread? It's like you take biscuits, roll it in cinnamon, and fry it. Just kind of sling it in there and make monkey bread. Pretty good. Quick little snack if you ever get bored. Just get a thing of biscuits, break them down, roll them in some cinnamon sugar, throw them in a deep fryer. Yeah, I'm about ready to call it a night too. I hope everybody had a good time, and I appreciate everybody coming. And again, I'm going to do some selfless, whatever you call it, promotion. Catch Gemma's video on Monday at 11. Wednesday at 7:15, me and Gemma doing the cards, or she's doing the cards, and I'm sitting in the background keeping the list. Thursday night with Laura this Thursday, so I think she's going to be out of town. I don't know what's going on this Thursday, so we'll play it by ear. Then next Friday at midnight, me until I get back home, and then it'll be Friday and Saturdays. Uh, please come and join us. Munchie Talk at 12 o'clock. There you go. Next Friday, we're going to discuss our favorite junk food recipes. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mike J. Now, let me mark that. 1 second. I want to mark that. Oh, I've seen her before. Okay. I know who she is now. Yeah. Thank you. I marked that. So remember to hang out with us those nights. Every other Monday, will be me and Gemma. This Monday, it's just the premiere video at 11. So please come and check us out. Remember, donations, uh, anything that you can give helps us and her keep the things rocking and rolling. I want you guys to have a good weekend. Please have a good, you ladies and gentlemen, however you want to look at it, because I know there's been a big huss about people saying Mother's Day this year. I don't know why, but I want you all to have a happy Mother's Day. Enjoy the day, ladies. If you mothers out there, make your kids cut the grass, give you a pedicure, make them do the work for you. You deserve it. I want you guys to have a fun-filled weekend. Please be safe out there. And I will probably be there Monday for the premiere, like I always am, always hanging out. So if I don't see you Monday, I'll see you Wednesday. And for those who see me roaming around Facebook, which I don't do too much, I pretty much just post dragons and dresses and stuff that I think are cool that would look good on a certain person. And a lot of dragons, a lot of dragons. So take care, all. Be blessed, like Mike says. Behold, please be careful and be safe and be loving. And I really, truly, truly hope you guys have a good weekend. And if you see you Monday at 11 on her video, on her premiere, great. And if not, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Please, please have a good one, folks. And have a wonderful rest of the night, morning in this case. And see you soon. Later, guys. Bye-bye.